Hey, how's it going? I'm drinking blue lotus flower tea. Hopefully, yeah, it looks, you can see the blue in that. I like how good this camera is at focusing, which it's literally my phone camera. But yeah, there that is. There's the tea. So this is the second one today. And I made the other one earlier today when I was having a pretty shit day. Yeah, but I think making that video was the beginning of the the goodness of the day. And it's good. I think so. Journaling, the last thing I needed to do today, which was journaling. I wrote, today was a good day. It was a hard day. It was really painful. It was really painful at points, but also really pleasurable. I had the opportunity to find myself in a shell and then fucking break out of it. I was sulking and feeling sorry for myself and feeling like I couldn't achieve anything. And against what felt like all the odds at the time, I broke out of it. I persevered and I made the day into something good, something that I could look back upon and feel thankful for. So, and I've said this before again and again, but if I just had good days and suddenly everything went to shit and it was hard for a long time where I was put under pressure and it got hard fast. What the hell would I do if I didn't go through these trials? I would break. I think my mind is in a place that really won't ever stay, let's say, like, stably positive. So it goes up and down, like in terms of the motivation and whatever. That's just like how I should put it into words a little bit better instead of giving up that quick. Yeah, I mean, the motivation, the gratification, the energy, the satisfaction, and to be fair, I think I know that as I get older, I will get better at keeping myself in a sustainable state. So not necessarily like crazy, like motivated and gratified, but also not like low down, like where I don't feel good at all. So yeah, but for now, I mean, the only way to get to that point is these trials. And it's a pain in the ass, and it's probably going to be a pain in the ass for you too. But if you want to get to that point where you can do the work, where you can feel happy most days, where you're not like questioning if you'll lose this feeling within the next couple of days. You have to work your way into a set of systems that actually works for you. And in order to do that, you have to fail again and again and again. Especially if you've had this deep-rooted into your being and the way that you act every single day, if you've had it for a long time. Like, I'm only 19, so and it already feels like I've done this for a long time. This the way that I acted up until actually trying to chisel my own set of systems. But I can't imagine being 30 doing this whole thing until I was 30 and then beginning to try that. I just can't imagine that. I tried this tea once before, and it wasn't very strong. I didn't feel it very much. This time, I used a lot less water in one batch, and yeah, I'm gonna drink all of it. I think, yeah, I think it's worth trying again. I tried it with my girlfriend, and after drinking about 1 cup, she said that she started to feel like nauseous, which I was like, huh? But then a little bit later, I kind of got that same feeling a little bit. Yeah, it's like the nauseousness that you feel when you're drinking too much, except it was just the nauseousness, the nauseousness, the nausea. God. Yeah, but it's been good. Like, shit is not easy, and I don't think it will ever just be like everything's so easy. Even if I get to the point where I'm financially free, I'm time free, and let's say I have the exact location that I want. Let's say let's say I'm location free and I can stay wherever it is I want. Humans are so good at finding new things to focus on. They get so bored without something to focus on. And if your brain is set in a system where it finds new things to focus on and then it beats itself up if it can't focus on these things correctly, then you'll constantly find yourself looking for gratification within the idea that you actually focused on it today. At least me. For now. I know. It's hard. And accepting the idea that it might be like this my whole life that feels really hard. But I think, all I can do is just keep trying. Because there's no real way to know if my life will stay this way. If throughout my whole life I'll end up just my mind works this way the whole time. There's no way to know. Well, what I do know is if I don't actually put some effort into figuring it out, then it's a lot less likely to be figured out. I have to put this down for a moment. But yeah, I've been getting more into the idea of building a aesthetically pleasing body. I think that at certain angles looks great, but also at certain angles I just I see nothing but where things can be improved. I feel like one thing that I've began to focus on is how big my neck is, because I still feel skinny most of the time when I look in the mirror, or when I put my arms out like this. I feel skinny like this. And I think it's because of my arms, the size of my arms, and then also the size of my neck. Because when I put my arms out, yeah, I feel like I look aesthetically pleasing here. I feel like my arms could be bigger. My forearms could be bigger. But here, yeah, I think also it has to do with being very low body fat. I have probably a single digit body fat percentage. That's just how my body works right now, which I'm okay with that. I don't want to fuck that up. But yeah, I mean, what I've focused on pretty much for the past year and a half has really just been strength. And I am actually quite strong for my size. I'm nobody expects me to be as strong as I am when my arms look like this, right? Um, yeah, like, there's this bar that I like going to and playing pool at. It has the worst pool table ever, but um, like the bar is so close, I'm able to just walk to it, and oh, it was the fridge, something turning in the fridge. I thought my hand made something move, the camera move, I mean. Yeah, it's so close to me. I can just walk to it from my apartment, and it's right there. And then I can just play a game of pool, even though the pool table is fucking awful. And I've gotten used to the girls that work at that bar, so it's fun talking with them. But the other night, I picked up the biggest bar girl there, and she weighs more than 100 kilos. I wonder how much is, because that's what she said, 100 kilos to pounds. I don't even know how much that is. Wow, okay. Yeah, that's probably how much she weighs. And, and, yeah, the whole bar is freaking out because I picked her up. She's like, how did you do that? You're so small. Yeah, and, I mean, I think it's good to build strength. Like, being able to be strong is super useful, and also in terms of like defending yourself if you ever end up having to. Yeah, I mean, if there's nothing behind those punches, it doesn't really matter at all. But recently I've just been like interested more in the idea of actually putting on like visible muscle, because my arms have grown like over the years, but not like if I was just going for muscle gain as opposed to if I was just going for muscle mass opposed to actual strength gain, then my like I would look completely different. But also I'm sure my metabolism might be different too, because when you're shooting for, I mean, I guess that's it's like a very much a bodybuilder thing, and people get like bodybuilding and building muscle very like intertwined together when they definitely are two separate things. You can attempt to build muscle mass and not be a fucking bodybuilder. So most people who are building muscle mass have this idea that, like a bodybuilder, they need to just eat like loads of carbs. And not to say it's bad to track your carbs while sorry, not your carbs, your calories. Not to say it's bad to track your calories if you're trying to gain muscle, but yeah, I mean, that's something I've never enjoyed doing, because also it's like if I wanted to, I could eat a ton of calories, like a lot of calories, but I also end up like, something I've discovered ever since coming here is back in the States, I would eat so much shitty food, and I'd always feel tired. I wasn't really sure why, especially after eating. Like, I'd go and eat like a giant big burrito, like a burrito full of carnitas, and I'd be fucking done after, and I'd be like tired for like 3 hours after eating this massive burrito. Yeah, and I do that like 2 or 3 times every single day. Not just not like 2 or 3 burritos a day. Sometimes, but whatever. Let's not talk about that. Yeah, and I'd feel like tired, and I think the most muscle that I ever gained was when I was working out with my buddy De Stefano, and directly after finishing a workout, we would go right next door and get poke, and I'd eat a massive poke bowl, and I would still get that same feeling where I felt so fucking full that I was like, it was like effort to not lay down and sleep it off. But through that, I gained the most muscle that the most like muscle mass, I think. So maybe the key is really just honing in on a couple of foods that don't make me feel that way. A couple of foods that I can eat a lot of, like directly after a workout, and then, doing that same practice where directly after a workout I have it like a giant fucking meal. Yeah. having Mexican food yesterday. I got a burrito. It was supposed to be this massive burrito. Whatever. A massive burrito here is very different than a massive burrito in America, but I think any logical person can guess that idea. Because well, it's America. I got a massive burrito that was more like a pretty regular sized burrito in America, and I got a quesadilla, and I ate almost all of it, and I felt like fucking shit after. I felt like shit. And I was like, I can't believe I used to eat like this every single day, like 3 or 4 times a week. Yeah, at least Mexican food. This is actually something I wanted to check. I think I can do this here. Here we go. What is the life expectancy of a Mexican? Okay, yeah, not of a Mexican, but Mexico. 70 years. That's not bad. I thought it was gonna be less. I thought it'd be less, and I know that an American is less. I think it's less. That feels not right. That doesn't feel right. But I guess Mexico. Why has it gone down so much since 2020? I guess that is COVID. Supposedly, looks like people. That doesn't look right. Anyway, oh wow. In Canada, it's 81 years. Japan, it's 84. Yeah, Japan's crazy. 77 years. You know, I used to think that it was much lower. Life expectancy at birth. Yeah, wait, what? Why has that gone down? Life expectancy at birth. So somebody that was born in 2023 is expected to live 74 years. Why was somebody born in 2019 expected to live 76 years as opposed to that person in 2023? Anyway, we're going down a fucking rabbit hole. Yeah, let's go back to the better looking camera. That camera looks so much better. Yeah, I used to record, actually that's not true. I only recorded like one on this one. Did I even record one on this one? I feel like I figured out pretty quickly that I could use the iPhone camera. Yeah, but anyway, let's, I'm gonna stop looking at my computer. Now, I've had 2 full cups of this, and I'm gonna be honest. I don't feel anything. I feel nothing. But it tastes really good. So that's one thing that is awesome. Tastes really damn good. Last time, something that I had done that I thought I might have messed up the tea with is if you boil tea, like, and you get it to like boil, sometimes it can take some of the nutrients out of the tea or like ruin aspects of the tea. And that's something I did with the last one. Multiple times I got it to boiling because I was trying to let it sit. And so I thought to myself, maybe that was one of the reasons why it didn't work so well. This tea looks a lot more blue than the one that I had before, too. You know, honestly, I do feel like something so vaguely. Yeah, it's definitely there a little bit. I'm gonna put some more water to boil on a pot to boil. gotta make sure it doesn't, well, yeah, it doesn't boil. Yeah, it's 12:06 now. I guess I didn't do the intro earlier. At the time, it was 11:46. P.M. Yeah. So now it's December 4th. I feel like some of these ones just end up me hanging out. Me just hanging out with myself and the camera. Oh, God. Yeah, you got the key is you got to get it to simmer, a light simmer, and then you put the leaves in. But the leaves were already in, so there was no room for error. Because if you're boiling the water first, if you're getting it to simmer first, then if you get it too hot, you can always just let it cool down before you put the leaves in, right? This really is just me hanging out with myself, and I think the tea is actually beginning to hit a little bit. I think it actually is. Yeah, hey, at least we know it works. I was gonna send some to my brother, but my brother smokes weed and drinks wine. I think, at least when I was there, like, still quite frequently. So I think that this tea will not match up to the other choices of consumption, but I think that it will be a nice Christmas gift anyway. I was going to gift him one of my hats that's actually in my motorbike outside. I wanted to show it to you, but I think I've worn it at least one time. It's the only hat that I've worn in the past Thailand, since I've gotten to Thailand. So, actually, that's not true. I forgot about this hat that I had, and I gave that hat to one of the first people that I actually really even talked to in Thailand. It was this, old woman, this woman probably in her late 50s, who was working at a massage parlor. Yeah, it was the first Thai massage I ever got. While I was getting this massage, this old woman took out her phone and started scrolling on Facebook Reels. And I was like, this cannot be real. This cannot be real. But I think it was because we had been so casually friends before, and then it was she just knew that she could do that without getting shit from the person, or I don't really know. I don't know why. Yeah. But I was so new to Thailand, I was like, maybe this is just how it works. It's definitely not how it works. I don't know why the hell she did that, but whatever. Yeah. It was she'd stop giving me a massage at certain, she was massaging with one hand, and the other hand was holding the phone, scrolling. And sometimes she'd stop massaging because she would she was multitasking so hard that she would forget the task that she was doing, that was massaging. So then she'd stop massaging because she's so entranced by her freaking black mirror, and then she'd realize she wasn't, then she'd start massaging again, after 20 seconds. I just didn't have that. I couldn't sum up the courage to say anything. I was still so nervous. I was still so new. I just left home. Something that puts me at ease a lot and makes me feel a little bit better when I feel so fucking lost sometimes is... Oh, here, I'll tell you where this train of thought first was birthed, at least recently, because I know it, but, sometimes you're reminded of trains of thought and they remain in your mind at the forefront of your focus, and it actually means something a lot more than it used to. I was in a sauna in a dry sauna, and I was just sitting in there by myself, and then this guy comes up and looks inside, and then he looks, and then he walks away from the door, and then I think his partner, this Thai girl, walks up, and the Thai girl looks inside. She's looking around, and then she's looking at me. Now she's looking at me long enough for me to wave at her, because I'm like, why? We're both looking at. I'm gonna wave at you. I'm not just gonna stare at you. So I wave at her, and then we both laugh, and then she starts talking to her partner, and I can't see her through the door anymore. And I hear anyway, this is way too much explanation. The guy says, yeah, it looks like there's just a boy in there. Yeah, and reflecting on the idea that, lots of people still see me just as like a boy. And I think that in itself really does mean that I'm still just a boy. Like I'm a boy. I'm a young man. Still, I think a young man can still be categorized as, I mean, it's right next to a boy. Like if you're a man, you're definitely not a boy. You might be close to a young man, but you're not a young man anymore. You're a man, and you're not anywhere close to a boy. Yeah, and I'm still basically just a boy, and sometimes I feel like I need to have everything figured out. Sometimes I feel like I need to have it all figured out, and I definitely don't need to. Of course, that's not an excuse to not constantly keep trying to figure it out, because if you aren't constantly trying, then it will take a long time to actually figure it out. And if you have goals or specific periods of time where you want to have it figured out, constantly striving for it is the only thing that's going to get you there to that period, at that point of time when you want to be there. So, yeah, but it's nice because it's like, God, sometimes I forget how fucking young I am, especially with the people that I hang out with, the way that I'm perceived by other people. I end up feeling so much older, which makes me feel like I just need to have it figured out. Yeah, I mean, also a lot of people here in Thailand, maybe it's just Asian, all of Asia in general, people look so much younger. Like, people look so young. And when I tell people I'm 19, they're always, baffled. They don't believe me sometimes. Yeah, the tea, it's like, I think there's certain aspects of it that feel definitely there, but also, nothing that's, oh God, I don't feel safe doing that. I was, pouring it over my main journal that I use the most. I don't know why I was contemplating that. Yeah, see, this one's a little bit less blue. It also hasn't stayed in here for too long, but yeah, I don't think we're gonna get much out of this. This one. This one feels hotter too. Yeah, this one that got hotter than the other one. Actually, maybe I just haven't left it for long enough, but I think I left it for about 4 or 5 minutes, which should have probably been enough time to steep, but this also is the second steep through, so. Okay, I'm going to put it back in. And I spilled it a little bit. But yeah, my mom comes in a week and a half. I get to see my mama in a week and a half. This is the longest amount of time that I haven't seen a single member of my family, including my mom, as opposed to seeing her pretty much every single day. Yeah. I wonder what she'll think of me. I wonder how much she'll think I've changed, because I definitely have changed. Sometimes I think to myself, how much have I changed? We talk on the phone sometimes, so I know that she's seen some of it already. Yeah. I wonder how much she's changed. Probably not too much, because going from like, when's my mom's birthday? I actually need to figure this out. Sorry, okay, hold on. Going from like 47 and a half to 47 and 3/4 is, yeah. At that point, it's like, of course you can have different, like, big changes in life, but it's a lot less likely. Going from like 18 to to 19, oh god, okay, whatever. Life moves fast. Life moves fast. No, life changes a lot when you're really young, especially when you're like, you don't have, you're still building systems for yourself. You're still figuring out what kind of systems you even want to have, what you want to hold. I am really excited to, I think after I come back from Chiang Mai, I'm not coming back to this place because I'm really fucking tired of hearing that bar across. The bar that I like going to play pool at. I'm tired of hearing it because even if I don't want to talk to those girls, I can hear them talking like from like 6 to like 3 a.m. If I'm up at 3 a.m. or if I wake up at 3 a.m., I still hear them. Sometimes they wake me up. Sometimes they wake me up because they're yelling so fucking loud. Because of course, like, bar girls, their job is to, like, have a good time themselves, and then also have a good time with people, customers that are coming in, or when potential customers pass by on a motorbike and they're looking at them. Like, if I pass by a bar, or if I pass by a massage parlor that's where they're wearing lipstick, or I pass by, whatever, you get the point. And if I'm looking at them, every girl sitting there, because they always sit outside, like, you understand, yeah, they'll be like, oh, hey, come back here, what's your name? Tell me your name. And I'm already like way down the street now. I'm not turning around. Yeah, but so they do that all the time. And it wakes me up sometimes. Anyway, the point is, I'm not coming back to this place. Even though it's nice, I think for $20 a night, nearly $21, it's $20.80 a night. I'm getting a little tired of it. I think also just having some new variety, which, now that I think about it, I feel like I should put on the agenda somewhere that I need to start looking. And I don't know, there's so many things to worry about before. It feels like there's so much stuff to worry about before I leave to Chiang Mai. So I'm finding myself like scrambling all over the place. Yeah, I feel like something really, really, slightly there. I know I keep saying that. It's like when I find myself rambling a little bit, or like, going all over the place, I think that's when I realize that it actually is there, and it's not just my mind going like, yeah. But I think we got a majority of that flour, because pouring it now, it's not nearly as blue. It's still blue. It's a pretty blue too, but not nearly as much. It's kind of a shame. Yeah, this one's too hot to drink right now still. Oh, yeah, anyway, it's been 34 minutes. Thinking that I should probably go. This really was just me kind of talking to myself. It's crazy how much fun I can have just by myself. It's a little alarming. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this day if you were live on if you were live today on this day, the 3rd of December 2023. And yeah, I will talk more to myself tomorrow. Goodbye again.